It's just now moving back out over the water. You know what hurricanes and tropical storms do when they're over warm water? They typically intensify. So that's what we're going to keep our eye on for the next day or so. We're going to be looking at more heavy rain, probably on the order of about 5 to 10 more inches of rain. I know that seems unfathomable, but it's true. We're still going to pick up rounds of rain where you get those bands that come in and drop 1 to 3 inches of rain within an hour. Not right this minute, but we'll see more of those as we push through the next few days. Flash flooding certainly going to be occurring right now, and that'll continue to happen, especially if we put more rain on top of that. Then we're going to focus on the creek and river flooding. Our tornado threat certainly shrinking. We're seeing that into Williamsburg and Georgetown County now, but the rest of the low country doesn't have the tornado threat. Wind gusts 30 miles an hour. The trees that are in that wet soil, they can be knocked over with 30-mile-an-hour wind gusts. Here's a look at some of the rain totals from 12.5 inches all the way down, well, actually even there, 14.02 inches in Green Pond. So very heavy rainfall has come down. Charleston International Airport 7.8, and we're going to be looking at even more on top of that. So we made a forecast the other day, 15 to 20, maybe even more inches of rain. It looks like it's going to come true. And we've still got that storm nearby. I know we're getting a little bit of a lull right now. Debbie has winds of 40 miles an hour trying to get back out over the Atlantic Ocean. National Hurricane Forecast Center's forecast takes it back out over the Atlantic Ocean. Here we are 2 o'clock in the morning, and it's possibly strengthening at this point. Still out over the water as we go to Wednesday, 2 o'clock in the afternoon. So pretty much all day tomorrow, it's going to be out over the ocean. Then it starts to come back on shore Thursday, very early in the morning, possibly northern Charleston County, and then it starts to move away. Here's what I like. Friday, 2 o'clock in the morning, it's a tropical depression moving through North Carolina and then continuing to push farther away, so that's certainly good news. Your impact forecast, the rain has been lowered a little bit because we've already gotten a lot of the rain, but there's still quite a bit more. The flooding is going to remain in the extreme category because there's flooding ongoing, and there's going to continue to be more flooding, plus the rivers and streams. Your wind and tornado threat, very low. Your coastal threat, very low over the next several days. Here's why we're concerned. High threat for that flash flooding through 8 o'clock tomorrow morning. We're going to see that high threat continuing into our Wednesday and Thursday morning. Then as we head toward Friday, that high threat starts to push a little bit farther to the north. And then we look at the creek and river flooding that we could see later on in the week. Here's what we have for you with our additional rainfall, about 5 to 10 inches all across the low country, maybe a little heavier farther off to the north. Right now we've got a temperature of 80 degrees, winds out of the east at 8 miles per hour. Now normally when there's a tropical system that close by, you have much higher winds. Winds aren't a huge concern with this storm, and we're looking at those wind gusts about 15 to 20 miles an hour. So even if it does get back out over the water, I don't think the wind is going to be a huge concern. It's just how much more rain we get out of this system. Tropical storm warning continues along the coast, and there's that flash flood warning for everyone in the low country because of the heavy rain we picked up. Right now, the heaviest rain coming on shore in Georgetown right there, and that'll continue to push inland through Georgetown and Williamsburg County. The whole circulation, here it is, the storm right around Savannah and Hilton Head, pushing out into the Atlantic Ocean. Still heavy rain on the back side of this storm system, so don't discount it. We're still going to see the possibility of several inches of rain. Futurecast shows us that wind forward in time, those bands of showers and thunderstorms coming on shore. I think it's a little heavier tomorrow afternoon, and then as we head toward our Thursday, hopefully this storm system continues to weaken and push farther off to our north as we go from Thursday into Friday. Conditions improve greatly. Overnight tonight, 77, scattered downpours. It is going to be breezy at times. Then into the day tomorrow, 83 with those rounds of heavy rain and still breezy. Northerly winds 15 to 25 miles an hour. That could cause some trees to topple. Storm tracker days continue Wednesday and Thursday. Then on Friday, we're going to be looking at a few leftover showers and thunderstorms. Rain chances will be dropping as we head through the weekend.
The Moncks Corner mayor saying there was maybe a microburst or reported tornado in that area. Debbie certainly showing no signs of mercy for the folks up there. That's where our Justin Berger is tonight. Thank you. We finally got that shot back up. Justin, you've seen a lot of damage today. You've been kind of crisscrossing every part of that area. What are you seeing right now?
Oh, we have been crisscrossing, definitely, but this is the impact zone of this half-mile, three-quarter-mile danger zone is what Tom Hamilton called it. So just take a look behind me. That's True Auto. You can see two cars are on top of each other. Whatever came through this area was so strong that it literally knocked one car on top of the other. If you widen that shot out a little, you can see these air conditioning units. They are off of this Arby's. And the rest of the Arby's is in the Arby's parking lot. The windows and walls of this place have literally been blown out, and for most people coming by to look, it's a once in a lifetime kind of storm.
The Arby's is probably the worst I've seen, and those trucks over there getting thrown like that, that's a lot of strength.
This is security camera video from True Auto. Wind strong enough to knock a pickup truck upside down.
We've lived down here for years.
And just across the parking lot,
Never seen this before. Isn't it a mess?
total devastation.
It looked like somebody set a bomb off in there.
Just yesterday, this Arby's was serving up roast beef and crinkle fries. Tuesday, tables, booths, chairs, insulation, and blown out windows littering the fast food parking lot.
Everybody's riding through here and posting on Snapchat.
Mayor Tom Hamilton says about a half to three-quarter of a mile stretch of his town was hit hard. By what exactly, the National Weather Service will determine in the near future.
I ain't never seen a tornado come through anywhere like this before.
Hamilton remembers a microburst a few years ago that leveled nearby homes, but this is the most business-related damage he can remember.
We need to be thankful. We need to be thankful that someone wasn't seriously injured or killed in this storm.
And guys, it just started raining again for probably the first time in two and a half hours. There was only one minor injury from this storm early this morning. It happened at Walmart. We had a flurry of tornado watches and warnings. And again, that Walmart just up the road was also impacted. We will take a look at that in the next hour. Live in Moncks Corner, Justin Berger.
Thank you, Justin. All right, you have to see this picture, and this is a massive traffic alert for drivers. This picture from North Charleston Police, part of the exit ramp on 526 East. Yeah, that's washed away. They say SCDOT is investigating, but for now and for the foreseeable future, the ramp between Paramount and Dorchester Roads closed indefinitely. North Charleston Police again posting these photos to social media. It is hard to tell how extensive it is until you look closely and see the person standing next to it. You kind of have to squint to see it. They are there with a safety vest on, but yeah, that is extensive damage. So a massive heads up for drivers tonight. Again, that is on 526 eastbound. That exit ramp closed indefinitely. Taking a look at some video in Edisto. Pieces of a beach house dangling. This is actually the inside, I believe, though, of a restaurant. I think that's Coots Restaurant out on Edisto. Another casualty of what is believed to be a tornado spawned from Debby. Again, we are still waiting on the NWS to confirm. We do know the NWS is out surveying Edisto, though. We'll likely have a report from them tomorrow. We are continuing our team coverage of Debby. Downtown Charleston, as we know, normally bustling with tourists here on summer vacation. This week, though, certainly quite a different story, especially with a curfew now extended through Wednesday morning. Scott Eisberg is live downtown tonight. Scott, you managed to actually find some people who had King Street all to themselves today.
Yeah, Katie, I'll tell you what, it is eerily quiet, I guess would be the best word for it here in downtown Charleston. There are more runners and joggers than there are vehicles out there. There are more police officers out than there are people on the streets. This rain coming down just started about 5 minutes ago. Before that, it was the lull, as Dave said. Just a perfect, beautiful lull in the storm. Very quiet day out on King Street, which made it easy to see anyone who was out walking on King Street. And ironically, that was exactly the plan for two folks I met last night at Harris Teeter. They had just flown into Charleston. They were looking forward to a vacation, and then this, but they said if there is a break, they would be out sightseeing. And they were.
It's a beautiful city. We're having a great time. The breeze is nice, and we're looking forward to having a good time until Friday.
I mean, this is, I guess, unexpected. You actually have a nice day to walk around.
That's right. All morning we were watching the window, watching the drops. Gets less and less, and now we're here. It's going well. Going well.
So what are your thoughts of Charleston so far?
I just love it. I love it that it's so quiet and everybody probably went home.
It's usually
so
not.
It's all mine.
Usually not that quiet, right?
No, not at all.
So what's the game plan now? Just walk around until you start getting wet?
Well, we're going to see what's open, go find a nice restaurant, have a couple glasses of sangria, and enjoy ourselves.
So surveying through downtown all day today, we have seen a couple of tree limbs down, a lot of leaves down, but nothing really major. The only true flooding that we saw in the Food Lion parking lot up above Upper King Street, that across from St. Andrews Math and Science High School. For now, live in downtown Charleston, I'm Scott Eisberg. I'll send it back to you.
Thank you, Scott. In Dorchester County, the rescue teams were out today. The pictures you see here were taken off Dorchester Road. The county government announced the rescue, thanking the teams for their help in saving multiple people who were in need. We are continuing our coverage this evening of Tropical Storm Debby. We will be getting live updates from North Charleston and Georgetown, or I should say Somerville and Georgetown here shortly. But let's take a live look outside from Isle of Palms tonight. This is a brief, I want to emphasize brief break. We are nowhere near out of the woods when it comes to this storm. As a reminder, today, Wednesday, Thursday, all storm tracker days. Storm tracker chief meteorologist Dave Williams here with your first look at weather this half hour. Dave, I feel like people are getting excited because they maybe are getting outside for the first time today and they maybe want to drive around, but this is still the time people need to stay indoors and stay off the roads.
And I say get out around your property. Stay nearby because it isn't too bad outside right now, but we are going to see things picking up as we head through the next few days because we're not done with Debby. We are still looking at storm tracker days. I may be thinking the impacts come down just a little bit. I think we had the worst of it come through last night, especially with the heavy rain and the tornadoes, but we're going to see more heavy rain. There's flooding still ongoing, and there's going to be more flooding because everything that's ponding on the roadways is going to have to make it into our creek, stream, and river basins, and that's going to cause more flooding. We're going to have intermittent downpours over the next few days. Tropical Storm Debby is going to meander nearby, heading back out over the ocean. Don't know exactly what's going to happen, but it likely will get a little bit more intensity as it sits over the ocean. Bringing some tropical storm force wind gusts to us. I don't think really sustained tropical storm force winds, but some gusts from time to time. Life-threatening flash flooding going on right now. We will see some roads that are impassable, and we're looking at houses and businesses that are getting flooding, so a very dangerous situation still. We've got some dark clouds outside. We'll still see a couple showers as we look over top of the Ravenel Bridge. Some clouds and rain right now, and we are going to be looking at some light to moderate rain through the rest of the evening, but I think that picks up in intensity overnight tonight and especially into the day tomorrow. This is just how much we picked up since midnight. 4.66 inches of rain at Charleston International Airport, 3.22 in downtown Charleston. That brings the grand total already for the Charleston International Airport up to about 9.5 inches of rain. That's a ton since about 6 o'clock yesterday morning, so 36 hours. That is a lot of rain. Looking at the storm reports all across the low country, we've got wind reports, we've got flooding reports, we've got tornado reports, and we've seen 70 of those because of Tropical Storm Debby. 13 were tornadoes. Tornado reports, 13 of those out there. Weather Service working to confirm those for us, but they more than likely were tornadoes. Here's where we have the heavy rain coming on shore right now up into Georgetown County. A nice heavy shower there right around McClellanville, stretching over toward the Berkeley County line. And we've got some lightning there. For the most part, things are pretty quiet. Just some light rain showers. That's the backside of the storm system, and that's going to start to move over top of us overnight tonight and into the day tomorrow. See that? It's still a whole lot of rain. This storm is going to move in this direction. What does that do with that rain? It pushes it right back over top of us. It's not going to be quite as heavy as what we saw overnight last night. It is going to be steady at times, though, and it could put down several inches of rain within an hour. So that's why we're still concerned with the flash flooding and then eventually the rivers and the streams. We're looking at that rain right now up around Columbia, quite heavy. The heavy rain into Georgetown and Williamsburg County. A little bit of a break here because we're close to the center of the storm. Once that circulation pushes up, out over the ocean, more of the heavy rain will move back into the area. There it is on Futurecast. As we wind forward in time, some of that heads back over top of us into the early morning hours of our Wednesday. Futurecast not showing a whole lot of intensity with this storm, but that's still some heavy rain around lunchtime tomorrow. Then as we go into our Wednesday afternoon and evening, looks like Futurecast wants to bring this onshore a little quicker. That's fine by me. The quicker it gets in and out of here, the better. But still some heavy rain as we go into our Thursday. And then that storm starts to lift away later Thursday into Friday. And that's when our rain chances really start to wind down. And we'll be talking about less about the flash flooding, but we're still going to have to contend with that river flooding possibly for a week or so. It takes a while for all that water to drain. 83 tomorrow, rain and wind. Rain and wind still possible Thursday, 84. And then starting to get slowly back to our more typical summertime weather on Friday, 88 degrees, some showers and thunderstorms, and we're going to be looking at the weather improving into the weekend. We'll get you the full forecast in just a few minutes.
Thank you, Dave. We have crews live throughout the Lowcountry from the beaches to downtown. Now we're heading up to Somerville. That's where our Webb Wright is for us this evening. So, Webb, how are conditions up there?
Well, as you can see right now, it's not really raining. The rain has stopped, but if you were with us yesterday when we talked to Dorchester County officials, what they were afraid of was the flooding. Now, you see here, this is Dorchester Road, and it is currently blocked off. The reason it's blocked off is because it's flooded. Now, why is it flooded? Because this is Dorchester Creek. And as you can see, everything that Dave was talking about earlier is going on right now with the creek. It is overflowing. If you look down here, you can see that some of the debris is getting washed up onto the side of the bridge here because it has nowhere to go, because the creek is flooded. And right now, you know, like Dave said, there's no reason to be out here. And also, don't get fooled by the fact there's no rain, because this flooding is not going anywhere anytime soon, and we're expecting more heavy rain, and that's just going to exacerbate this flooding. Now, one thing we don't want you to do is what we saw a few minutes ago. We just saw a Dorchester sheriff's officer stop a bunch of high school kids from trying to float down the creek here where it's flooded. Don't do that. That's not a good idea. And we've seen a couple of more people who have been out here trying to float. Don't do that, because that's not.
All right, we'll be checking in with Webb throughout the evening. Looks like there may have been some technical difficulties there, but don't worry, he'll be staying with us all night tonight on News 4. Well, bands of showers have been on and off in flood-prone Georgetown this afternoon. Earlier today, portions of the county were under a tornado warning. Andrew James joining us live from downtown tonight. So, Andrew, paint the picture for us. What are conditions like there?
Well, just within the last 30 minutes, we had a strong band of showers come in from the Winyah Bay here to downtown Georgetown. We're right now standing at Front and Orange Street. This is a trouble spot for downtown, pretty much the low point to the water table just off the inner harbor here. Earlier today, this was closed. These construction barrels were out, and this road was closed because of those earlier morning showers. Around lunch to about 2 o'clock, it tapered off, and then from 2 to 5, no real rain whatsoever. So that gave a nice reprieve for drainage out here. Up in the northern part of Georgetown County, different story. The drainage there wasn't so ready for the downpours that came before lunchtime. Merle's Inlet, Garden City Beach, they're still drying up now, as well as here downtown Georgetown. This is what maybe 20 minutes of rain does. We're about an inch of water right now here on Front and Orange Street. Now, that reprieve, though, I mentioned, it gave businesses a good opportunity to get more sandbags, come put them up in shops. That's the scene here in Front Street. Several storefronts with sandbags, plastic painter's tape, and all that boarded up, trying their best to prepare, because they know rain can really inundate this area. They saw it last December with the nor'easter that came through here, really bad rainfall. They're preparing for whatever Debby has to come. Fortunately, it's been light so far in the last couple hours that we've been here in downtown Georgetown. But there are trouble areas. Front Street and Orange, right here. That's what we plan to keep an eye out for. East Bay Park, right there off of the bay. There are some roads that are blocked off. Those are kind of residential, but nothing so far that's impacted by flooding, as well as one of the main corridors, High Market and 17th here in Georgetown. That was a mess last December during that storm. We'll be keeping an eye out as well for how that gets impacted as the rain continues, and we're expecting it to pick up in the next 24 hours here in Georgetown. For now, reporting live in Georgetown, Andrew James, ABC News 4.